After all, that's what we've been told for decades. Eggs are full of protein, low in carbs, easy to prepare, a staple in almost every American home. But what if that morning ritual, those familiar scrambled eggs, the golden yolks on toast, were doing more harm than good, especially after 60? Evelyn is 67. She's always tried to eat well. Oatmeal some days, eggs on others. She doesn't smoke, walks nearly every afternoon, and keeps her weight in check. Her doctor even called her remarkably stable for her age. Then, at a routine checkup, something changed. Her cholesterol had spiked. Her blood pressure was creeping up. And for the first time in years, her doctor mentioned the words arterial stiffness. She was stunned. "But I eat healthy," she said. And that's when the doctor asked her one simple question. "How many eggs are you eating each week?" It felt almost absurd. Eggs? The protein-packed breakfast favorite? What could possibly be wrong with eggs? That question led Evelyn down a path she never expected. One that challenged decades of habit, uncovered surprising science, and made her rethink what healthy after 60 really means. And she's not alone. Across the country, more and more adults over 60 are beginning to realize that some foods we've trusted for years may not be serving us the same way anymore. Because the truth is, what fuels you at 40 can harm you at 70. Our digestion changes, our arteries stiffen, our risk factors climb, and the way we metabolize cholesterol, saturated fat, and dietary compounds, it shifts quietly but powerfully. That's why today, we're taking a closer look at one of America's most trusted breakfast staples, eggs. Not to scare you, not to shame you, but to offer something even more important, clarity. We'll break down why eggs may become more risky after 60, especially if you have certain hidden conditions. What signs to watch for that your body might not be handling them well. And most importantly, what delicious, simple foods can give you the same satisfaction and nutrition without the silent damage. Because you deserve to feel strong, light, clear-headed, and confident that what you're putting on your plate is helping, not harming. And maybe you're thinking, but eggs have been called a perfect protein. How could they suddenly be bad? That's the question we'll start with. Let's dig into what's really going on when you crack that shell, and why, for some people, what's inside may not be as harmless as it seems. When Evelyn got home from her doctor's visit, she sat down at the kitchen table and stared at the carton of eggs in her fridge. She felt betrayed. When Evelyn first tried skipping eggs, she felt lost. "What do I even eat?" she thought, standing in her kitchen that next morning. Her usual rhythm, crack, sizzle, flip, was gone. But within a few days, she found a new rhythm, one that not only satisfied her taste buds, but left her feeling lighter, clearer, and yes, stronger. So what did she switch to? Let's start with plant-based proteins. Eggs are praised for their protein, and rightly so. But they're far from the only option, especially when your goal is to protect your heart and keep inflammation down. Here are a few egg-free, nutrient-rich breakfast swaps. 1. Tofu scramble. Don't let the word tofu scare you off. When seasoned with turmeric, garlic, and black pepper, tofu can mimic the texture of scrambled eggs. Add in some sautéed spinach or mushrooms, and you've got a high-protein, heart-healthy breakfast that's surprisingly satisfying. 2. Avocado toast with hemp or chia seeds. Whole grain toast topped with smashed avocado, a drizzle of olive oil, and a sprinkle of seeds offers healthy fats, fiber, and a mild protein boost. You'll feel full, not heavy, and your arteries will thank you. 3. Greek yogurt parfait, non-fat or low-fat. Choose plain, unsweetened yogurt and layer it with berries, nuts, and a touch of honey. Greek yogurt is rich in protein and probiotics, which support digestion and immunity. Unlike eggs, it doesn't raise TMAO levels or cholesterol. 4. Oatmeal with almond butter and ground flax. Oats are loaded with soluble fiber, which helps reduce LDL cholesterol. Add a spoonful of almond butter and flax seeds, and you've got protein, omega-3s, and long-lasting energy. 5. Protein smoothies. A smoothie with plant-based protein powder, a handful of spinach, frozen berries, and almond milk can replace eggs completely, while giving you antioxidants and hydration in the same cup. Evelyn gave each of these a try. She kept it simple, some days just oatmeal with walnuts. Other mornings, a tofu scramble with toast. She noticed something after a few weeks. No more bloating. No more afternoon crashes. No more pressure in her chest. And at her follow-up appointment, her cholesterol was down. Her energy was up. And her doctor smiled and said, "Whatever you're doing, keep going." What's powerful about these foods isn't just that they're low in cholesterol or free from saturated fats. It's that they're anti-inflammatory, rich in fiber, packed with phytonutrients, and easy on the digestive system. They work with your aging body, not against it. And maybe most importantly, they don't sacrifice flavor or comfort. Because let's be honest, food is emotional. Breakfast is intimate. The point isn't to punish yourself. It's to feed yourself with care and awareness. But that raises another question Evelyn struggled with. Do I need to give up eggs forever? The answer? Not necessarily. Because like most things in life after 60, it's not about extremes. It's about balance. In the next part, we'll explore how to reintroduce certain foods wisely, listen to your body's unique signals, and make choices that last. Not just for a week, but for years. Not by the eggs, but by what she didn't know. Because no one had ever told her that as we age, even the foods we think are good for us can start working against us. So let's talk plainly. Why might eggs be a problem after 60? It starts with cholesterol. A single large egg contains around 185 milligrams of cholesterol, most of it packed into the yolk. That might not seem like much until you remember that many older adults eat 2 eggs a day, several times a week. That adds up fast. Now here's the key. For someone in their 30s or 40s, that level of dietary cholesterol might not raise a red flag. Their bodies are still highly efficient at processing fats and clearing cholesterol from the bloodstream. But after 60, everything changes. The liver becomes slower at metabolizing cholesterol. Arterial walls become less flexible, more prone to build up. And inflammation, already heightened by age, makes it easier for plaque to stick. Add in common age-related conditions like high blood pressure, diabetes, or a family history of heart disease, and suddenly, those eggs don't look so innocent. In fact, studies from institutions like the Cleveland Clinic and Harvard have shown that frequent egg consumption in older adults is associated with an increased risk of heart disease, stroke, and even certain types of cancer. But cholesterol isn't the only concern. There's also a compound called choline, found in large amounts in egg yolks. While choline is essential for brain health in moderate amounts, it's broken down in the gut into a substance called TMAO, trimethylamine N oxide, which has been linked to arterial plaque formation and cardiovascular damage. And guess what? The production of TMAO is more active in older adults, especially those with imbalanced gut bacteria. So yes, for some people, egg might be perfectly safe. But for many after 60, especially those with pre-existing heart or metabolic issues, they can quietly raise the stakes. It's not just about how eggs make you feel today. It's about how they influence what's building inside you over time. Evelyn remembered a moment from just last week, climbing a single flight of stairs and feeling oddly out of breath. Her ankles were swelling more than usual. She'd blamed it on the weather. But now she wondered, was it a warning sign? Was my heart trying to tell me something? Here's the thing. Our bodies are constantly talking to us. It's just that most of us have been trained to dismiss the whispers. So if you're over 60 and notice, you feel more sluggish after eating, you've had a sudden jump in cholesterol, you're experiencing unexplained fatigue, swelling, or pressure in the chest, or your doctor has raised concerns about your arteries or heart health, then it might be time to reconsider what you're feeding your body first thing in the morning. But don't worry. We're not here to leave your breakfast plate empty. There are powerful, delicious, heart-friendly alternatives that can give you energy, protein, and satisfaction without the silent risks. And in the next part, we'll explore exactly what those are. Let's talk about what to eat instead of eggs, foods that truly support vitality, especially after 60. A few months after her diet change, Evelyn did something surprising. She cooked herself an omelet. Not because she missed eggs terribly, but because she wanted to test, gently, carefully, how her body would respond after all the changes she'd made. She sautéed some spinach, added a bit of onion, and cracked just 1 egg into the pan, mixed with soft tofu to stretch the texture. No cheese, no butter, just a dash of olive oil. She ate slowly, paid attention, and then waited. No bloating, no fatigue, no tightness in her chest. Just a quiet satisfaction and a realization. Maybe eggs weren't the enemy. Maybe they just needed context. That's the part most people miss. It's not always about eliminating a food forever. It's about how often you eat it, what your body is dealing with, and how well you're supporting your system overall. So how do you know if eggs are still okay for you? Start with these 3 steps. First, notice your patterns. How do you feel after eating eggs? Are you energized or sluggish? Do you feel light or heavy? Any swelling, discomfort, indigestion? Track it, not obsessively but curiously. Your body tells the truth, always. Second, get the right tests. Ask your doctor about a lipid panel that includes LDL, HDL, triglycerides, and especially small dense LDL, a more dangerous form of cholesterol often influenced by saturated fat. Consider checking your inflammation markers like CRP and TMAO levels if available. Third, reduce, don't eliminate. Instead of 6 to 8 eggs a week, try 1 to 2. Use egg whites more often, which are high in protein but cholesterol-free. Mix them with vegetables, tofu, or beans. And choose days when your overall diet is lighter, with fewer animal fats. The key is balance over time. Your heart doesn't judge you for eating an egg, but it does react to consistent overload, inflammation, and lack of fiber. Evelyn now eats 1 whole egg a week, sometimes 2, but always with purpose, with vegetables, with movement, with hydration. It's part of a bigger picture, one that supports, not sabotages, her health goals. Because aging well isn't about strict rules. It's about staying in conversation with your body. And that brings us to the final, most important part of this journey. What does your body really need after 60 to thrive? Not just avoiding risks, but actively building resilience? Let's talk about the foundations of protective nutrition after 60 and how to design your breakfast and day around vitality, not fear. There's something quietly empowering about realizing that your morning choices, those simple routines, those quiet meals, those first bites, can either slow your body's aging or quietly accelerate it. And it doesn't take a medical degree to understand how to support yourself better. It just takes willingness, attention, and a touch of kindness. After 60, your body asks different questions. Can you help me stay strong? Can you make it easier to digest and recover? Can you choose peace over pressure? And those questions deserve answers. Let's revisit what your body needs most after 60, nutritionally. More fiber, less inflammation. That means oatmeal with flax instead of bacon and eggs. It means beans, berries, leafy greens, and fewer processed meats. More healthy fats, fewer hidden dangers. It means avocado toast instead of buttered white bread. A drizzle of olive oil on your salad instead of a creamy dressing. Steady protein, not overload. It means a bowl of lentil soup or chickpeas on your plate, not steak every night. It's about moderation, nourishment, rhythm, hydration that starts when you wake up. A tall glass of water before coffee. Maybe a few slices of cucumber or a squeeze of lemon. It doesn't have to be complicated, but it does have to be consistent and calm. The kind that comes when you know you're taking care of yourself, not out of fear, but out of respect. Evelyn didn't make her changes all at once. She kept a little notebook on her table, jotted down what she ate, how she felt, and what she noticed. That simple act changed everything. She realized her body didn't need perfection. It needed attention. It needed her to listen. And when she did, her thinking got sharper, her skin clearer, her digestion smoother, her outlook lighter. She stopped asking, "What do I have to cut out?" and started asking, "What can I give myself today that helps me feel well?" So if you're watching this and feeling unsure, skeptical, maybe even frustrated, start small. One better breakfast. One day with no eggs and more fiber. One note to yourself: I deserve to feel vibrant. Because here's the truth. Eggs are not the enemy, but they are a mirror. They remind us that what worked at 40 might not work at 70. And that's not a problem. That's a new chapter. When you get it right, bite by bite, choice by choice. And here's your invitation. Wake up tomorrow and drink a glass of water. Swap your eggs for oats or avocado or berries. See how you feel, not in 10 minutes, but in a week, in a month. Ask your doctor the questions you've been putting off. And treat breakfast not like a habit, but like a gift. Because that's what your body is. A gift. Still here. Still responding. Still fighting for you. So why not fight for it in return? If this video gave you something to think about, share your thoughts in the comments. Have you changed how you eat in the mornings? Have eggs affected your health? We'd love to hear your story. It might help someone else. And if this video helped you, please like it, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone you care about. Because we all deserve to age with strength, clarity, and dignity. Thanks for being here. Stay well, stay curious, and we'll see you in the next one.